Trump just made a statement that's causing thousands of Americans to pack their bags and book one-way tickets to Malaysia. And no, this isn't about politics, it's about survival. Over 12,000 Americans researched Malaysian visas in just 72 hours after his announcement. Families are cashing out their 401 Burmese chots. Remote workers are terminating their apartment leases. Retirees are selling homes they've lived in for 30 years. What did he say that made people abandon their American dream? Wait. Before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment, "I subscribe," below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. January 8, 2026. Trump announces a sweeping economic policy targeting middle-class tax brackets. The numbers are brutal. Effective tax rates jumping 18 to 24% for households earning between $75,000 and $150,000 annually. Within hours, financial advisors across the country report panic. Clients frantically calculating that they'll lose anywhere from $12,000 to $28,000 every single year. Meet Sarah Chen. She's 34, a graphic designer from Portland, making $95,000 a year. Single mom to 2 kids, ages 7 and 10. She sat down with her laptop that evening and ran the numbers 3 times because she couldn't believe what she was seeing. $18,400. That's what she'd lose annually under the new policy. "I realized I'd be working just to pay taxes," she told me over Zoom last week. "My kids would see even less of me, and I'd have nothing to show for it." That's when Malaysia popped up on my screen. But here's what shocked everyone. Malaysia wasn't even on most people's radar until a viral TikTok from an American expat showed her $800 a month penthouse apartment in Kuala Lumpur. 3 bedrooms. Pool. Gym. 24-hour security. The video got 14 million views in 48 hours. Wait until you hear what Malaysia is offering that America just took away. The MIT cost of living study from 2025 shows Malaysia is 63% cheaper than the US average. But let's break down what that actually means in your life. That 3-bedroom condo Sarah saw? $800 a month in Kuala Lumpur. The same space in Austin, Texas would run you $2,400. Health care. 75% cheaper with equal, sometimes better, quality care. International schools for kids? $6,000 per year versus $25,000 for private schools in the US. But numbers on a screen don't tell you what it feels like. David and Monica Torres can tell you. Both 41 and 39, tech workers from San Francisco, combined income of $185,000. You'd think they'd be living comfortably, right? Wrong. "We felt broke," Monica says. "Making nearly $200,000 and we couldn't save anything. Our 900-square-foot apartment cost $4,200 a month. We were surviving, not living." They moved to Penang, Malaysia in November 2025. "We went from a 900-square-foot apartment to a 2,500-square-foot penthouse," David explains, his voice still carrying disbelief 6 months later. "Our cost of living dropped by $4,200 monthly. Our kids are in a top-rated international school. We travel every month now, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam. We're actually wealthy here." His voice breaks slightly. "We're living the life we were promised in America." But it's not just about money. There's something darker happening. Something that's making Americans feel trapped. The hidden crisis that's making Americans feel like they're drowning even when they're doing everything right. In 2025, 68% of American bankruptcies were caused by medical debt. That's from the American Journal of Public Health, published March 2025. More than 2/3 of people who went bankrupt weren't unemployed or reckless, they just got sick. Let me put this in perspective. An MRI in the United States costs $2,500 on average. In Malaysia, $180. Same machine. Same quality. Same results. A full health screening in the US, the kind where they check everything, runs about $1,800. In Malaysia, $120. But statistics don't capture the desperation. Robert Jensen does. He's 58, from Ohio, living with type 2 diabetes for 12 years. His insulin costs $680 every month in the US. Even with insurance, his out-of-pocket was devastating. He was rationing insulin, which his doctor warned could kill him. He moved to Johor Bahru, Malaysia in October 2025. Same insulin. Same brand. $45 per month. I can actually afford to live now, he tells me, and you can hear the relief, almost disbelief in his voice. In America, I was choosing between medication and food. Here, I take my full dose every day, eat well, and still save $2,000 a month. The World Health Organization ranks Malaysia's healthcare system 49th globally. The United States? 37th. Despite spending 3 times more per capita. Think about that. America spends more and ranks lower. Healthcare is huge, but the next reason is even more shocking. And it has nothing to do with money. It's about something you should never have to fear in the place you call home. Americans are fleeing because they feel safer in Malaysia than in their own neighborhoods. The Global Peace Index from 2025 ranks Malaysia 21st in safety worldwide. The United States? 131st. Let that sink in. America ranks 131st in safety. The violent crime rate in Malaysia is 2.1 per 100,000 people. In America, 23.8 per 100,000. That's more than 11 times higher. Mass shooting events? Malaysia has had 0 in the last decade. The United States had 647 in 2025 alone. 647. Jennifer Park knows what those numbers feel like. She's 29, a third-grade teacher from Chicago. During the 2024 to 2025 school year, her school went into lockdown 7 times. 7 times she had to hide 8-year-olds in closets and tell them to be quiet while her heart pounded so hard she thought they could hear it. I couldn't teach while constantly fearing for my life, she says. I loved those kids, but I was having panic attacks every morning before work. She moved to Kuala Lumpur in December 2025. Her international school has never had a single security incident. Not one lockdown. Not one threat. I walk home at 11 p.m. after dinner with friends, she tells me. The streets hum with night markets, families eating together at outdoor tables. There's 0 tension in the air. I haven't felt that kind of peace since I was a kid. She pauses. I can't believe I had to leave America to feel safe. But Malaysia isn't perfect. There's one problem no one talks about, and it's caused 30% of American expats to return home within the first year. Before you book that flight, here's what 73% of American expats wish they knew before moving. Challenge number 1. Cultural adjustment. Malaysia is 61% Muslim with conservative values in some areas. If you're expecting American-style freedom in every corner, you'll be disappointed. The solution. Expat communities in Penang, Kuala Lumpur, and Johor Bahru are massive and incredibly supportive. You can ease into the culture while surrounded by people going through the exact same adjustment. Challenge number 2. The job market. You can't just move to Malaysia and start working anywhere. Their labor laws protect Malaysian citizens first. The solution. The MM2H visa program. Malaysia My Second Home. You deposit $100,000 in a Malaysian bank, and you get a 10-year renewable visa. Or the remote work visa. Prove you earn at least $24,000 annually from foreign sources, and you can live in Malaysia while working for companies outside the country. Challenge number 3. Language barriers outside major cities. If you move to rural areas, you'll struggle. The solution. English is widely spoken in urban areas. Malaysia was a British colony, so English is everywhere in cities. And Bahasa Malaysia is one of the easiest languages to learn the basics of. Most expats pick up conversational Malay within 6 months. But here's a cautionary tale. Marcus Williams, 46, tech consultant from Denver, moved to Malaysia in August 2025 without doing proper research. He picked a rural area because it was even cheaper, thinking he'd adapt. He lasted 4 months. "I didn't do my homework," he admits. "I was isolated, couldn't communicate with neighbors, and felt completely out of place. Malaysia is amazing if you choose the right city and prepare. I didn't, and it was a disaster." He's back in Denver now, but he's not giving up. He's researching Penang and Kuala Lumpur for a second attempt in 2027. So who is Malaysia actually perfect for? The answer might surprise you, because it's probably not who you think. Profile number 1. Remote workers or retirees. If your income isn't tied to U.S. soil, you're golden. You keep your American salary while living at Malaysian prices. Your money literally goes 3 times further overnight. Profile number 2. Families prioritizing safety and education. If you have kids and you're terrified every time you drop them off at school, Malaysia's international schools rival America's best prep schools at 1/4 the cost. And your kids will never experience a lockdown drill. Profile number 3. Healthcare-dependent individuals. Chronic condition? Your quality of life could improve dramatically while your costs plummet by 70 to 80%. Profile number 4. Entrepreneurs. Malaysia offers a 10-year entrepreneur visa. Start a business with just $35,000 in investment, and you're in. The American expat population in Malaysia grew 340% from 2022 to 2026, according to U.S. State Department data. That's not a trend, that's a movement. These aren't just people running away. They're running toward a better life. But there's one final twist about Trump's statement that nobody saw coming. The irony is almost poetic. Trump's statement was meant to strengthen America, his words, but it's created the largest American exodus since the Vietnam War era. In 1970, about 10,000 Americans fled to Canada to avoid the draft. In 2026, we're seeing 5 times that number researching Malaysia alone. That doesn't include Portugal, Costa Rica, Thailand, and the dozens of other countries seeing massive spikes in American visa applications. Dr. Patricia Mendoza from Georgetown University's Migration Studies program published research in February 2026 that should terrify policymakers. "This isn't political migration," she writes. "It's economic survival migration. And historically, that's far more permanent. People who leave for economics don't come back when the politician changes. They come back when the economics change. And America's trajectory makes that unlikely in the next decade." The real kicker? Countries like Malaysia, Portugal, and Costa Rica aren't just accepting Americans. They're actively recruiting them with special visa programs designed specifically for disillusioned Americans with remote income. They're rolling out the red carpet for America's middle class. The American dream isn't dead. It's just relocated. So here's what I need to know, and I'm being completely genuine here. If you could cut your cost of living by 60%, live in a safer environment, keep your American income, and actually save money for the first time in years, would you leave? Or is there something keeping you in America that no amount of savings could replace? Drop your answer in the comments because I'm reading every single one. I'm genuinely curious if this is the beginning of a mass movement or just temporary panic that'll fade when the news cycle changes. And if you're already planning your move, which country are you considering? Malaysia, Portugal, Thailand, Costa Rica? Let's crowdsource the best options for Americans right now. Your comment might literally change someone's life. If this opened your eyes, if you had no idea this was happening, Share it with someone who's struggling to make ends meet right now. Someone choosing between medication and rent. Someone working 2 jobs and still drowning. They might thank you later. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. The question is, are you designed for this system, or is it time to find a system designed for you?